Right, buddy, these are the 5 things we learned from Manchester United's Derby Day victory over Manchester City. We'll be talking about individual players, what Amorim learned, the momentum boost that Manchester United will get from this game, and much more. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. But I want to start off by talking about AMADNESS. Amad was absolutely fantastic yesterday. From minute 1 to minute 9, he ran constantly, getting 2 great goals, and his performance did not go unnoticed. If you look at Amad, it was a criminal what happened to him under Erik ten Hag. Amad has been absolutely fantastic, and his performance yesterday showed why he's one of the best players in the Manchester United team, but also in the Premier League. I think his performances this season have been absolutely outstanding. When we look at that Manchester derby, gets the penalty by a smart bit of play, scores the goal as well with a great bit of play as well. He was absolutely amazing, and his pressing, his quality, and this isn't the only game. We've seen it against Everton, we've seen it in other games. I think against Victoria Pilsen during the week he was fantastic. So Amad is someone who's just grown, and I think he is one of the best players right now in the league. I mean, he's absolutely amazing. In the Manchester derby, he was definitely that man of the match yesterday. He won the game for Manchester United, and yes, Bruno has to score the penalty, and yes, it depends on other factors, but Amad, his overall performance for me was absolutely fantastic, and a lot of people has criticised him. He's had to wait for his chance, lots of loans, injuries, and ultimately now he's doing fantastically well. So really happy for Amad. I think he deserves the chance and deserves this moment, because he's someone who's worked massively, worked hard as well, and very humble. And yeah, his performance was absolutely fantastic. So I think Amad Diallo, he's one of those players that have grown into the Manchester United system. As I said, where we play him at wing back, where you play him at number 10, I think you can play him on the left. They do a fantastic job anyway. He's one of those players who fits anywhere in the team, and that's something I really do like about him as well. So, but his quality, his work ethic is absolutely fantastic, and Amad Diallo is that sort of player that Manchester United need at this current moment. Now, the second thing we learned, Amorim can make big decisions, whether that's leaving out Rashford and Garnacho, one of Manchester United's or 2 of Manchester United's best attackers over recent years, whether that's bringing in Maguire into the team, which I thought did very well. It's shown that Amorim can make those big decisions, and he's not afraid to do that. As I said, Rashford is an academy player. This derby game would be absolutely a lot for him, but he used ideas, used his principles, and I think his principles and ideas do align with the fans, and that's something that does make him very likeable around Manchester at the current moment. I think the way that he, as I said, the team that he played, people would criticise it, but it was a team that worked. I think some of the decisions were absolutely fantastic that he made, but those big decisions in the big games ultimately what make those managers. And yes, Amorim was obviously frustrated because I don't think we did enough I don't think we created enough, but neither did Man City. So I think that's what Amorim will be happy about the most. I think the way that we did dominate large parts. I mean, going to the Etihad and having 50% possession, I think it was in that second half, was absolutely fantastic. We really did live in Man City. Look at some of the gaps that we created. We were very smart in possession. We played a lot of our sort of football possession base. I was watching a compilation this morning about the way that Manchester United were playing. Lots of nice 1-2s. I think we could have been a bit more proactive in the final third. But ultimately, I think very good on the ball. We had players with confidence. Maguire distributing the ball fantastically. I think Mazraoui, I think De Ligt in that right centre-back role can do that role effectively. Martinez, which I'll talk about. But these big decisions by Amorim have to be made, and that's something that I think he did. Now, the third thing we learned, decent defensive display is what I'm going to say. Listen, the defence was absolutely fantastic. In the game against Pilsen, it was a sloppy defensive error. We conceded 3 against Nottingham Forest, 2 against Arsenal the game before that. It was going to be very tough regardless. I think you look at the way that Manchester United have played though, without the defence, and Martinez was in there, De Ligt's in there, Mazraoui's been in there. They were absolutely fantastic. The defence I played yesterday was De Ligt, Maguire, Martinez, Dalot and Dalot. Dalot and Mazraoui, they all did very well. I think Mazraoui, like, everyone put a shift in. I mean, you look at that ball from Martinez, it's absolutely fantastic. You look at the distribution from Maguire. Maguire in a back 3 works when there's not much pressure on him. He can let the 2 other centre-backs beside him do all the running, chasing down the ball, and he can just be physical 1-to-1 with the striker. That's something that Maguire thrives on. Even the way that he's playing, when Walker made that stupid decision and to fall over, he was going over to proper lead his performance. And I think Maguire was absolutely fantastic. Looking back at the game, he was very solid, a lot of aerial duels, and so was De Ligt as well. I think he was fantastic. Someone who just goes very under the radar. Same too with Mazraoui. Listen, he got cooked by Doku a little bit, but large parts of the game was fantastic. Delo, I think he did struggle. We know left wing back's not his position, but still expect more from Delo, to be honest with you. But I think the whole defence is fantastic. Onana was a bit shaky, but yeah, overall I'll be very, very happy with that performance. Now, the fourth thing, UGARTE class. I thought UGARTE was absolutely amazing yesterday. UGARTE is a player who is just slowly going under the radar, picking up his performances game by game. I think this was probably one of the best in his Manchester United shirt. He was winning the ball constantly, was involved in that nice passage to play that Manchester United had in which we should have scored. I think Ahmad just went wide. He's winning all the aerial duels. He was the best midfielder on the pitch by far. He, as I said, constant work ethic, constant effort, constant running, and I think his quality did shine throughout the game. So very, very happy with UGARTE. I think his mentality is absolutely fantastic, and listen, he knows what it's like to play under Ruben Amorim. He knows the system, and ultimately you can see that shining through. He was the best midfielder. I think Kobe as well, when he came onto the pitch for Mason Mount, was fantastic. Now, the fifth and final thing we learned, we must build momentum from this. We've shown this, and yes, we lost to Arsenal, but we had a decent game against them, and it was just 2 corners really which cost us. Against Man City, we've beat them at home, and yes, they're struggling 1 win in 11, but the way that we did play against them, it was a confident display. And yes, as I said, Man City 1 in 11, they have injuries, but still, they are one of the best teams. They won the Premier League last season. They can certainly create chances and can score goals, but we limited that. There weren't large gaps. They didn't really have many chances to kind of put crosses in. I don't really remember a big save which Onana had to make, really. So that's really a positive sign there. There definitely should be momentum taken from this game, positives to be taken from this game, but we can talk about them, and which there were. I remember learning a lot about his team because, listen, at 85 minutes it was, or 88 minutes, it was still 1-0. But again, did Manchester United have more chances than Man City? Yes, you look at Bruno had the 1v1. Ahmad had that header which Ederson saved. Then we scored the 2 goals, whereas Man City, other than the goal, they created maybe 1 shot for Haaland which was deflected, the one throw, the one that went wide. Ultimately, it was a very dominant display by Manchester United, more XG. Yeah, I'm very excited. The Manchester derby that we won. Obviously, we've got a big game now in the Cup against Tottenham. That's not going to be an easy game, but listen, Amorim will be very, very happy with the way that we played, and he will take this into the game against Tottenham, which is a big game, as a chance to win a trophy. So yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.